Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Raymond J. Negron with Beyond Failure to Reach Success, and I'm a guide. What I do is I run my own coaching business. I coach three groups of people 3 times a week. And other than that, I do a lot of investment of time and education, focusing time, energy, focus, and getting better on who I am. But what I came here to discuss, and another thing I do is I help people transition from 9 to 5 to working full time for themselves by transforming, right? Building a bridge from where you are to where you want to go. So I wanted to kind of talk about who we are, right, as human beings, because I don't think we do a lot of thinking on who we are and what we think about what we do. When the normal question I notice is, oh, what do you do? Right? That's usually an American question that people ask. What do you do? What do you do? Most people ask that, right? Because they define what you do as who you are, which is totally wrong. I have a friend from Brazil, and I forgot she's from Brazil, but she lived in another South American country. And she said when people ask, they don't ask what you do, they ask you who you are, right? To define who you are as a human being, right? That has a different mentality, has a different ring to it. Because it's like we don't care what people do, their profession isn't who they are, right? It's who they are as a human being. Who are you, right? And most of us mask who we are, right? We like to say the version of who we believe we want to be like, who we think or a thought, because most of us have thoughts. We don't do a lot of thinking. It's just the truth. We don't sit and have a lot of thinking time, which I'm a big advocate of that. If there's a video here, thinking time, do that 3 to 5 times a week. It's awesome. It'll change your life. But we don't think of who we truly are as human beings on this planet, right? So when people ask that, the American question is, what do you do? What is your profession? And because most people like to contextualize you and put you in a box. Oh, that's who he is. Oh, that's who he is. But that's not really true. What is true is who you are as a human being. And I'm drinking coffee, so cheers to all the coffee drinkers. Cheers to all the tea drinkers in the world as well, and the water drinkers, which I definitely am. See, a gallon of water almost done for the day. Amazing. But so who are you? I think that's such a question that we must define as we live on this great planet, on this pale blue dot, if you're looking from outer space. But who you are, right? There's a saying, a Ralph Waldo Emerson saying that I cannot remember for the life of me, but it's your actions speak louder than your words, right? So when you define yourself, if you're actually listening to this question, you define what your core values are and how you act and how you show up and what you do. Who are you as a person? What is your meaning? What do you think you are here to do on this planet, right? With impact, with meaning and mission, even if it's to be a good person every day, even if you say, what, I'm not really striving for anything. I'm where I'm at, but I want to be a little better. I want to be a little more gift giving. I want to be kind of like what nature does to us. What does nature do to us? Nature, like you plant a seed, all of a sudden it sprouts. I'm going to use apple tree. Then all these other seeds sprout and then produce more. What if you could be a person like that, right? Using the Johnny Appleseed metaphor. Right? Be someone that is a gift that grows life instead of takes away, weeds life. Because most people, I notice now in this time, when we're under this quarantine or whatever it's called, everybody's skeptical of each other. We're all looking at each other like, this guy's got it. This person's got it. They have it, right? And everybody just assumes. Everybody assumes that someone else is having, they're going to give it to them. What about giving the gift of who you are? Giving the gift of smiling a little more, especially in this time, where you can give the gift of smiling and give the gift of holding the door open, right? Like myself, I'm a very focused person. So sometimes I'm very focused and people talk to me. I don't hear them because I'm so focused on what I'm doing. I'm very intentional. But when I'm walking out in the community, when I go out and pick up my food now, pick up a salad, from Panera or wherever I go, or I usually Blend. There's this organic place. I'm intentional. I try to say hi. I try to, open up the airwaves to communicating who I am, like being friendly, being giving, tipping. like talking to people, asking, how are you? And then, like, if they turn it bad, I turn it good. But who are you as a human being, right? By listening to this question, the people that are watching, who are you, right? Ask yourself that question and really think about it. Most of us don't like to think about things. We like to have thoughts, right? That's a good idea. I thought about it, right? But the reason why people go to college is to do deep thinking. And it's funny, when I went to college, I feel like it was a waste of time. I, at the time, I was actually making more than the professor that was teaching me about the subject. I forgot what it was, but I remember we had a conversation. And I was running a bar full time. And I literally had 3 jobs in one job, so I get 3 separate paychecks at that time. But it was like, I was like, what can this guy truly teach me about, whatever it was? I forgot. It was some kind of, it was business ownership or business management ownership, because the guy doesn't own a business. He's a teacher. But who are you as a human being is definitely a question to ask. And I'm going to beat it as a drum, with meaning and impact. I just did a Facebook Live about this, and I think it's important. I had a few people, about 10, 15 people popped in, which I think was awesome. But we have to define who we are, especially in a time now where we can think. We have time to think. We have time to, not scramble and be scared and focus on the paranoia, but think who you are and what you want to do, what your meaning and mission is. And maybe you could do something totally different. Maybe this is the call to what you were meant to do, right? Think about that, right? Maybe this is happening for you, not to you. Also, great saying, things don't happen to you, they happen for you, which I believe that. They also happen through you, right? The person that you become, right? If you're a high energy person, if you're a low energy person, what can you do to work on that, right? That person just clicked right off. He's low energy. But a high energy person, what can you do to influence that, right? What can you do to become that? What can you do to have like some great self-talk? I think self-talk, I have self-talk with myself as much as possible because I believe in what I do. I believe it's a well-needed thing that I must do to become better, right? So ask yourself, who are you? What's your meaning? What's your mission in this one great life, right? Sit with that. Say, how do I define myself, right? How do you define yourself as a human being? What do you think you mean to this world? What is your defining nature, right, to this world? Think about that. Think about that. Don't just dissuade it as, this isn't a topic. Dude, this will grow you to who you need to become, right? When you define who you are and what your meaning and mission is in life, right? And you think about it, when you go back to childhood, when you were a little kid, as a kid, you would say, you know what, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a veterinarian, I want to be this, I want to be that. And you were so you were so clear and confident about that at that time. I think as a kid, I was burying animals. I had this weird animal burying phase where I'd see things dead and I'd have to bury them. And bury insects, I would bury things. And my mom's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm just burying things. I believe, they need to be under the earth. Because I believe they needed to contribute back to the earth, right? They needed to build the earth. I believe, like, at that time, like, dead corpses, were the reason why we're alive. I don't know. But my meaning at that time when I was a little kid was I wanted to be a veterinarian. At that time, I wanted to be a world-class veterinarian. Maybe not world-class, but I just said, I want to help animals. I remember saying as a kid, I want to help animals from all over the world, right? Because I believed our connection, my connection to animals, right? And it's funny, I don't have any pets now, which maybe I should go out and get a pet. But I believed at that time that that's what I wanted to be. And I started out. My mother would take me to a veterinarian. She took me to a hospital. She took me to a few places and said, oh, check this out. I think later in life, I didn't want that. I was just like, but I remember as a kid, I had this vision of it. I had this vision of living this amazing, great life where I could fly across the world and like repair a tiger or repair a horse or repair some kind of animal. And it meant a lot to me at that time, right? Because I believe animals were life. Animals were, a gift to us. So we're able to watch them. They're able to watch us, So now as an adult, my gift has morphed into, You know, I used to want to be a screenwriter. I used to want to write, and I still do. I still like writing scripts. And, you know, I had a little bit of success in that endeavor. But the thing that really moved me was like serving others. You know, like writing was serving myself, but in the gift of coaching, the gift of guiding people from where they are to where they want to go is a gift in others. So I can help produce and help them sprout, right? Like you can. You can help other people around you sprout and get them to use their imagination, right? Use that dream self and not just hope. I hope that happens, but imagine using your imagination, right? Think about that word imagine, right? A nation, and you create a world inside of your imagination, and then have a deep knowing that you can go create that. Like, have a deep knowing that I can help people. I can guide them to where they are to where they want to go because I've done it. I have the experiential knowledge and the experience behind it because I've helped people transform. And they go off and they use all the tools and resources we built together, and then they go off and do what they need to do, right? So where can you in your endeavor do that for somebody else? Where can you create value in others' lives, right? We all have, like, you know, I believe in having selfish hobbies too, things that ground us, that build us, you know, that build a know, love, and trust within our spiritual intention or whatever you believe in. Maybe you're an atheist, who knows? You don't believe in anything, but you believe in now, you know. But if you do and you believe in serving others, you know, what can you do now in this time of whatever, crisis or whatever you want to call it? Time of thinking, I believe. I believe this is a time of thinking. A time of deep thinking about who we are and what we stand for, and with our meaning and how we want to impact people around us, and how we want to, you know, serve ourselves by creating a mission in life and gifting ourselves to others, right? How can you gift yourself to others? Whether it's just a smile, right? Because people are a little weird now with the social distancing, but how can you gift yourself to others to connect and, you know, cheer on, man? Because that's what life is. Life's about just fighting on. You must fight on, right? It's a battle, or whatever you want to call it, but we must keep moving on. We must go through the struggle, right? So I hope that was helpful. I hope that was that left you with some insights, some takeaways, some things that you could do for yourself. And if you have any questions, drop them in the box. I will look at them later, and I will write you back with a real answer, not just some candid answer, right? I'd like to put real answers, even if it's an answer that you don't even like, you know. But I believe, you know, some people need to be served with things that they don't like, right? So they can move forward, right? Because that's what I do as a guide. I push people, I make them uncomfortable so they can get comfort, not be uncomfortable again and go back and forth. So again, that's awesome. Thanks. You know, I'm gonna write this in the box, defining who you are with meaning and mission. Bam. Read that. Read that question and define it for yourself. Read that question, define it for yourself. Thank you. Take care. Have an amazing day.